Welcome back to the Ed Show, and thanks for staying with us tonight. You know, it hasn't just been the right-wing media claiming that the president is hiding something about his birthplace. As we showed you tonight, many elected Republicans have embraced birtherism. But today, the current chairman of the Republican National Committee not only said his party isn't interested in birther talk, but that any talk about birth certificates is now President Obama's fault. Chairman Priebus said this: "As I've repeatedly stated, this issue is a distraction. The president ought to spend his time getting serious about repairing our economy, working with Republicans, and focusing on the long-term sustainability of Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security." Unfortunately, his campaign politics and talk about birth certificates is distracting him from our number one priority, our economy. You know, when I saw this statement, I thought, I need a Republican to explain to me how the party can justify this response on the heels of all of this birther coverage. Joining me tonight is co-host of the nationally syndicated show America's Morning News, Amy Holmes. Amy, good to have you with us tonight.
Good to be here.
Completely denouncing the birtherism. Why hasn't Republican leadership taken it to the next level to squash all of this? Why have they allowed this to have the kind of life that it's had when they say that, well, we think he's an American? How do you make of this?
Well, in fact, I think Republicans sighed probably a deep breath of relief, a deep sigh of relief today that this was being put behind them, because this is a loser. This is a loser issue, and it's been a loser issue for Donald Trump. USA Today had a poll out this week that found that over half of Americans said that Donald Trump would make a poor, awful, terrible president, including 31% of Republicans. And I think part of the reason why there's been so much oxygen over the last 3 weeks, or particularly the last two, is because Congress has been out of session. So for President Obama actually to give this press conference today was helpful for Republicans, because it puts it in the rearview mirror, so when they get to Capitol Hill on Monday, they can move forward with these other pressing issues that they know is what the American people care about. Okay. They have to win independence. They don't need to win birthers.
You say it's been a loser issue. I'm curious, how long has it been a loser issue? Because none of the Republican leadership has viewed it that way. And also, what about the birther bill that's in the House being brought up by a dozen Republicans? I mean, it seems like the Republicans have just been wallowing in this, that they really kind of love watching this spat going back and forth.
Well, the very first Republican to encounter this issue, John McCain, when he was running against then Senator Obama, he investigated the birther issue. He had a lawyer on it. I'm very close to this lawyer. I know him very well. He investigated, got down to the bottom of it, and they were absolutely convinced and absolutely satisfied that President Obama was born in Hawaii.
So why hasn't Boehner and Cantor followed along with that?
Well, you're asking me.
Why hasn't Boehner and Cantor followed along with that?
Boehner said
Why
he is
hasn't
satisfied
Boehner and Cantor followed along with that?
Boehner said
Why hasn't Boehner and Cantor followed along with that?
Boehner has said
you can't answer the question?
No, you're repeating it over and over and not giving me a chance to reply. So Boehner has said he is satisfied that President Obama is born in Hawaii. He is not advocating introducing this birther bill. And when you talk about Republicans, look at what the governor of Arizona, Jan Brewer, did. She vetoed that bill. So I think you're conflating this birtherism with the Republican Party is not fair to the Republican Party. Mitt Romney has denounced this. Right. Tim Pawlenty has denounced this. You saw Michelle Bachmann say that the issue
is there is a bill in the United States House
there are lots of bills in the House
they want to take action on. Why doesn't John Boehner show some leadership and say this will never come for debate, it will never get to committee, it's over, it's done? Why don't they do that?
It hasn't come to debate. It hasn't come to the floor. John Boehner has no interest in advancing this. He could see the polls for himself as well. I mean,
thanks,
there are
Amy.
lots
Good
of
to have you
bills
with us tonight.
in the United States House.
That's right. And they have not totally denounced it going through all of this. Good to have you with us tonight. Today's news should put an end to all of the birther talk. Orly Tate says, not so fast. That's next on The Ed Show. Stay with us.